Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely massive, IoT data analytics. If you're tinkering with Arduinos or ESP32s, studying data science, or just love the idea of smart cities, you are in the exact right place. Think about it. We literally have billions of tiny sensors deployed all over the globe. They're acting like dedicated little field reporters, constantly gathering intel on temperature, motion, heart rates, factory vibrations, you name it. But here's the catch. Raw data by itself is just noise. IoT data analytics is like the ultimate super intelligent newsroom. It takes all those chaotic reports, crunches them in real time, and hands us brilliant, actionable insights.
And to see where this is all heading, you've got to check out this idea of sentient AIoT from the eSide 2026 predictions. It's wild. We're talking about autonomous AI agents, not humans, but AI, completely managing global supply chains and production lines based on live data. But to pull off that kind of sci-fi level automation, those AI agents need a rock-solid foundation of what we call ground truth data, because if the data is garbage, well, the AI is going to make some catastrophic mistakes.
So how do we actually build that reliable data pipeline? Well, here is our game plan for today. We'll start with the IoT era, then break down the three-tier IoT architecture, look at how IoT devices communicate, explore some real-world IoT applications, talk about securing the IoT ecosystem, and wrap up with the digital twin future. We're basically going to follow the epic journey of a single data point, from a tiny sensor out in the field all the way up to the cloud.
All right, let's jump into part one, three-tier IoT architecture, building the newsroom. So this intelligent newsroom we talked about, it actually breaks down into three main layers. At the very bottom, we have the IoT or device layer. These are your on-the-ground reporters, the sensors and actuators literally capturing that raw data. Moving up, we hit the edge layer. Think of the edge as your local desk editor. Instead of just flooding the higher-ups with every tiny detail, edge gateways pre-process and filter the data right there locally. And finally, the good stuff reaches the cloud layer. This is the big, centralized newsroom where the heavy-duty data processing, storage, and complex AI logic actually happen.
You can really see how this flows upward. You've got data pouring in from smart homes, connected cars, maybe your smartwatch. All of that streams into the edge layer sitting there in the middle. And this is absolutely crucial, because by crunching numbers locally at the edge, we drastically cut down on latency and save a ton of network bandwidth. Only the truly important insights get pushed up to the cloud layer for the big picture analytics. It's just a beautifully efficient way to handle billions of data points.
Moving on to part two, how IoT devices communicate, the network protocols.
Now, here is a massive engineering puzzle for you. Imagine you've got a little soil moisture sensor sitting in the middle of a huge farm. It's running on a tiny battery. How on earth does it send data over a cellular network without just dying in a few days? Picking the wrong communication protocol here is a huge rookie mistake. It leads to dead batteries, lost data, and cloud bills that will absolutely wreck your budget.
So let's look at the options. We generally compare three main ones: MQTT, CoAP, and HTTP. Now, if you do web dev, you know and love HTTP. But in the IoT world, putting HTTP on a battery-powered sensor node is generally a terrible idea. The overhead just to establish a connection will drain a battery 3 to 10 times faster than MQTT on a cellular network. CoAP is super cool, but it's really built for the most deeply constrained devices running on specific mesh networks.
And that's exactly why MQTT has become the absolute gold standard here. It powers a whopping 90% of IoT sensor workloads. Why? Because it has this incredibly tiny, ultra-efficient 2-byte minimum header. Plus, it keeps connections open, which is perfect for spotty networks. When you're managing a fleet of, say, 1 million ESP-based sensors, that kind of efficiency is literally what keeps your system alive.
All right, part three, real-world IoT applications, data in action. The ways we're actually using this stuff are practically endless, but a few massive transformations are really leading the charge. We're talking predictive maintenance in huge factories, smart grid management for renewable energy, the insanely fast decision-making needed for autonomous vehicles, and remote patient monitoring in healthcare. And managing all this software on devices scattered everywhere. It's getting way easier thanks to edge tools that let engineers push updates to hundreds of smart devices at once. Let's zoom in on predictive maintenance for a second. In the old days, factories just serviced machines on a fixed schedule. Now, IoT sensors are constantly monitoring stuff like temperature and vibration. Take Siemens Insights Hub as an example. They run machine learning on factory floor data, and they can literally spot a microscopic vibration that means a motor is going to fail weeks before it actually breaks down. That saves millions of dollars in downtime. It's just brilliant.
We're seeing a similar revolution in healthcare with remote patient monitoring. By tracking things like heart rate, blood pressure, and oxygen levels in real time, especially for older folks, IoT is completely flipping the script. Instead of a hospital-centric model where you only get care after you get sick, it becomes a proactive, patient-centric system. Doctors can literally step in before a medical emergency even happens.
Which brings us to part 4, securing the IoT ecosystem, privacy, and ethics.
Look, we have to be real here. Collecting all this granular data on our health, our locations, our habits, it comes with massive risks. The industry is tackling these ethical concerns by leaning hard into major regulatory frameworks like GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California. The core idea here is that systems absolutely must be built with transparency and user control right from day one. People need to know exactly what their smart devices are whispering to the internet.
And technically speaking, how do we fix this? Enter federated learning. It's a total game changer. The old way, centralized cloud processing, meant sending all your sensitive, raw data up to a central server. Yikes, right? But with federated learning, your IoT devices actually work together to train an AI model locally at the edge. They only send the mathematical upgrades back to the cloud, while your personal data stays locked safely on your device.
And the defenses don't stop there. Developers are now hooking IoT data logs into blockchain for decentralized, tamper-proof storage. Basically, once the data is logged, it cannot be secretly altered. On top of that, we're seeing AI-powered privacy analytics running right on the network, constantly hunting for anomalies. So if a device starts acting weird, the system spots it and shuts down the threat before it turns into a full-blown data breach.
All right, almost at the finish line. Part 5, the digital twin future, smarter worlds.
So what is the ultimate goal of all this? It's the digital twin. A digital twin is a highly complex, deeply data-driven virtual replica of a physical system. It could be a jet engine, a massive wind farm, or literally an entire smart city. It takes the sensors, the edge computing, the cloud analytics, and ties it all together into one cohesive, predictive model that perfectly mirrors reality in real time.
This is the real paradigm shift. IoT isn't just about reading a temperature sensor and plotting a pretty graph anymore. It's about moving from raw telemetry to predictive, autonomous action. When you have a perfect digital twin, you aren't just watching what's happening right now. You can simulate the future and let AI automatically optimize the physical world for you.
And that brings us right back to where we started today. As this sentient AIoT truly takes hold, autonomously managing our power grids, our farms, our supply chains without humans pulling the levers, it leaves us with a massive question to ponder. How will this seamless, predictive automation reshape your own daily life and your future career? The Intelligent Newsroom is up and running, folks, and the data it's gathering today is building the autonomous world of tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep exploring your connected world.